I remember one experience I had early on in my life. I was like 14, 15 years old. Somebody drew a cartoon of Hatsune Mikia, who is a Vocaloid, on the whiteboard at church. An elderly member of our congregation came and saw it, and even though it wasn't very provocative, they expressed how it made them uncomfortable, and they had the picture erased. And I remember thinking, well, there's nothing particularly overtly sexual about this picture, it's just a girl, but I think it sort of represented a little bit of that old bias that some people continue to have. What I used to do is I'd get home after work or school, I'd chill on the sofa or the beanbag, and I'd watch some anime to practice my Japanese. So I lived in Japan for a while, 2 years to be specific, and one major difference in sort of the perception of anime there versus here, it was just a lot more normalized, a lot more conventional. From a young age, I was exposed to like Studio Ghibli. You know, some people might argue that's a little bit different from sort of the mainstream anime, but from a young age, I watched that. Ghibli is family friendly, and so it's really marketable. Its contribution to sort of normalizing anime was being able to appeal to a family. Most of the films are pretty whimsical. Some of them feature serious elements, but it's always portrayed very tastefully. And so I think that's a way that Ghibli sort of helped normalize anime and Japanese media in the West. I'd say that recently anime has sort of been dragged into the mainstream. When you're exposed to something like that, it can either be hyper positive, people singing its praises, talking about how nuanced and interesting it is, or people talking about how it contains pornographic elements, and because you get sort of a polarized view, Westerners either view it as something that's great or something to be sort of like brushed under the rug, something weird. So in terms of the anime night that I organized, while it's become more mainstream in the West, I'd say that in Utah we're still a little bit behind. And so just being able to turn on a show and have roommates be 100% comfortable with it is not something that happens regularly. I remember last semester, I turned on even a Studio Ghibli film, and a lot of my more right-leaning roommates got uncomfortable with it. They didn't mention it to me, but they're not present. You know, they don't want any part of it when you invite them, they politely refuse type of thing. And so I just really saw it as an opportunity to find those people that were part of that group, have a good time, share something that I really liked. Yeah, I plan on doing an anime night again, I think. It was a good time. We're all college kids here, and so our schedules don't always align, but getting to spend a couple of hours just like being younger again. I mean, we're pretty young now, but like being teenagers again and enjoying that, I think that'd be pretty fun to do again. So one of the main problems that I had planning the first one was accessibility. A lot of people like anime for different things and are into different shows. So either a show that has universal appeal or a movie that you can finish in one sitting. I thought I'd invite my pal Garrett. We've known each other for a long time, and I figure a fresh perspective on anime would be interesting, so. There's a thing happening this week, and I was wondering if it was okay with you, if I could invite you to the thing. We're going to be watching the first 2 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh hey!
Hello, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm excited for him to see anime. I haven't seen the particular one we're going to watch, Jujutsu Kaisen, so I have some reservations about it, but I think he's a polite enough guy that he won't think it's too weird. I think overall he'll probably enjoy himself. I have high hopes. I guess we'll see though.
So I never really watched any anime before. No one in my family watches anime. I do have a lot of friends that watch anime. They probably told me like I should check out one anime or another, but it never really interested me. I never knew how to watch it. There's so much content in the world and you can only watch so much. And so for me, anime was never exciting enough. A couple years ago, I watched a Studio Ghibli film with a friend. I do remember liking the style of the movie and thinking it was really pretty, but I think I was a little bored throughout the experience. Like the movie just didn't really excite me or anything. I think there are a lot of barriers to entry for people to watch anime. I think to start off with, cultural differences that show up in anime might confuse a Western audience. So I think going into watching anime, I wasn't sure if it was really anything I would be interested in. There's definitely like a tension or a switch between like being really serious and being like comedic or funny. And so that was kind of interesting to see how the mood could change really rapidly. I think those things actually helped the story rather than being like a distraction, which I think I didn't expect. I think the art style really establishes a different world and really draws you into the universe of the show. I think I would definitely be interested in watching more anime, especially finishing this series. I'm kind of interested in where the story's gonna go. And I think also it's about time I give it a try. I have enough friends that watch anime, and it would be nice to be able to talk to them about it and find the things that they enjoy, find the things I enjoy, and find the things that we enjoy in common.
Yeah, I really thought that his reaction was really interesting. He mentioned comedy, which is something that I hadn't really considered. He talked about how it's sort of juxtaposed with like this more serious elements of the story and help drive the narrative forward. You know, that's one thing I really enjoy about anime is sort of like the wideness of genre that it encompasses. You can have adventure, you can have action, you can have romance, you can have comedy. All of these things sort of come together and you have something utterly unique, and I think that's spectacular.